Alex is on the line in California. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show, Alex.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for taking the call.
Certainly. How can I help?
So, I've been pretty lucky. I make a pretty good wage as an engineer, and I got some inheritance within the last few years. It's been coming in from different estate sales. And I've been getting serious with my girlfriend, but my girlfriend is in a lot of debt. So she's got about $100,000 in student loan debt from private university in a field that doesn't really pay well.
What's her field?
And arts,
okay,
fine arts.
So she spent $100,000 to get a degree in art from a private university.
Yeah.
Okay. And what else?
And she's got some other debts, and right now she's unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's been paralyzed by the debt, and I've just been listening to stories from different callers, and I just hear the echo from that, you know.
Okay. So you feel like her hope is gone, and like there's no sense in walking because I can't climb Everest.
Right. Yeah. So
you don't think she's lazy?
I mean, I hope not. She has worked since I've been dating her. I've been dating for like 4 years, and I'm 28 now. And we're kind of getting to that point where things are either going to get more serious or, less serious, I guess. So I don't know. I just kind of looking at advice in that range.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I would just have a loving conversation with her. It sounds like y'all are pretty serious, and just go, hey, I'm worried about you. Wait a minute, listen, you're bright. You've got all this potential, and you seem to have been paralyzed by this debt and doing nothing about it. And it's not going to fix itself. If your career is not what you thought it was going to be, then I'll walk with you. We'll coach you. I'll be your biggest cheerleader on getting a different career. But doing nothing is probably not a plan.
Yeah.
Can you not have that conversation?
Yeah, I have, and it's it is a hard conversation, and she's very upset about it, and I think that's, to me, is what shows that she does care, and it's such like a hard topic to talk about because it's so emotional.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you just got to do something about it. I mean, she has to do something about it, and so there is more anxiety, more stress in feeling stuck and sitting than there is in being overwhelmed while you're running. And so we find people that their anxiety goes down, that it helps people that are struggling with depression when they go to work. Even if it's just if it's not something emotionally you feel like doing, but just as an act of will, as an act of personal strength, intestinal fortitude, I get up and I drag my butt out to the car, I start the car, and I go to work. And there's something about that is helpful to the human psyche, even if it's not making a big dent today. You're at least in action, you're in motion, and you're heading in the right direction. Sitting, it's like you're paralyzed a deer in the headlights sitting in the road waiting to be run over by an 18-wheeler is not a good plan. And so I'm going to, if I'm in your shoes, my son is actually about your age, okay?
Okay.
If he and I were sitting on the back porch having this exact conversation, my advice to him, father to son, would be, you lovingly have to help her solve this because not solving it is a deal breaker for the relationship. You told me that earlier. You just didn't use those exact words, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I'm just making you say that out loud to yourself, and you don't have to threaten her. That's not the spirit. I want you to have a spirit of help, and you want to help her. Yeah. Be kind, but it's a kind act to help her get off the couch.
Yeah.
And baby doll, you've got to go do something. You know, you're not going to make it sitting here brooding and fearful and sucking your thumb. It's a human nature thing to do. We all have been terrified. Most of us have at some point in our lives, to where you feel that way. I remember that feeling where I was just completely like, oh crap, no matter what I do, it's wrong. My life looks like a country song. You know, I mean, it's just like awful. And so you just, it just takes the wind out of your sails. And Proverbs says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Hope deferred. She doesn't have hope.
Yeah.
She feels stuck. Feels overwhelmed. It's a hopeless situation. But here's the rest of that proverb. When desire comes, it is the tree of life. And that's what I was talking about earlier. When you can go, okay, in spite of this, I'm going to manifest with intestinal fortitude down in my guts the desire to get up and go do something, just to keep from getting run over because I'm sitting in the middle of the interstate. Something's got to change. Even if I just crawl over to the edge and lay there a minute, but at least there's some motion, right? And so you don't expect her to go get a new career making $200,000 an hour in the next 20 minutes. That is not what I expect, nor should you. But I do expect to see her deal with this. Otherwise, what you're going to have 5 years from now is you're going to be married to a 35-year-old depressed lady.
Yeah.
And you're going to deal with that for the next 20 years. Because that's where this is heading, is clinical depression if she doesn't deal with it, for her sake. Because it's a human nature thing. I mean, I feel sorry for her. I'm so sorry she's there. But the bad news is she's got $100,000 in debt. The great news is she's young and smart and pretty, and she can go do a whole lot of things, and she didn't have to do anything with art. She could do something with art. I don't care. I don't care what she does. But doing nothing, I do care about. And that's what you're saying. And so, give yourself a couple of more tough conversations and see if you see any movement at all, because it's not, things are either getting better or they're getting worse. Nothing does status quo. Nothing stays the same. Relationships get better, they get worse. Jobs get better, they get worse. Your money gets better, it gets worse. Your physical body's getting better, getting worse. Everything, nothing stays exactly where it was. It's an impossibility. And so it sounds like while you've been dating her that this has gone downhill, and you've got to help her turn it for her sake and for the sake of the relationship going forward. That's a dad talking, okay? And you can do this. And if I can help some way, I will. I mean, if you want to go through Financial Peace University or something, I mean, take her to that anything. But it's going to involve her getting over this paralysis and engaging again. And it's just hard to do when you're hurting and scared and hopeless. Hope deferred makes the heart sick.